Living. I'm Dr. Page, and this is
Joe Pettigrew.
Hey, we're just so glad that you're on the show today. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to lifesaboutlivingshow.com and text LAL to 66866. Joe, what's going on today? How you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, during this time we all been stuck in the house or, kind of around.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating me
What?
that all these people are getting rich.
Joe, I never knowed you to be frustrated.
Well, but all these people getting rich off these Have you ever thought of an idea and didn't do anything with it, and then all of a sudden somebody came out with it and made a
I know.
fortune?
They do that in medicine all the time.
Oh, let me tell you, it just
Kills you, doesn't it?
I went in a store one time. It's as seen on TV. Have you ever been in those stores? Every time they do an info commercial, they put these things in there as seen on TV.
I like to get the gig being the guy that gets paid to do the infomercials.
That would be one of the
bad.
first things I saw was this glove that you put on. It was just a glove, and it had a towel on the outside, and it's what you wash your car with. I think of all the times when I was a kid, my daddy would
not my car, but my kids.
My daddy would give me a rag and go out there to wash the car. I would have loved to have had a little rag to fit on my thing. Or
that way you wouldn't have got your fingers all dirty when you did
how
that,
about
right?
these things that people have got now? These noodles that kids play with in the swimming pool.
Oh, I love those.
Why wouldn't I could have thought of that?
You know what happens? I'll buy those, and then my dog eats them up and tears them up and scatters it all over the yard.
There are inventions, though, that is way above my pay grade. I mean, really, when you go into some of the hospitals and you see some of the equipment they got, or you see, stuff like, when I see people working on cars, I'm sitting there going like, I have no idea what they're doing. But then there are these little bitty things that come up that just drive me crazy that I didn't think about it.
What's that, Joe?
When I was a kid, and you take your lunch to school,
right?
And your mama would have to go and find something to put a few potato chips in,
right?
Because we didn't have little sacks of potato chips. All we had was a big sacks.
Right. They had to put them in a saran wrap or a paper bag or something. Yeah.
Or how about out in the yard blowing leaves? How many times have you had a rake in your hand trying to get leaves up with them? So,
been there, done that.
We got people that are watching us today. I guarantee you that have sat there and they have thought of these ideas. They've thought of concepts and they thought, oh man. And then they didn't do anything with it, and somebody came out with it and made $1 bazillion on it.
Right.
And you ever done that in medicine?
The old woulda, well, yeah, I got something I want to show you that. The old woulda, shoulda, coulda. Man, I wish I'd have been of this. You know what this is, Joe? Let me just open this up here. This is
It's got a nice little brochure.
It's got a little brochure. Look how the people look real happy on it. Look at that.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, they look happy.
And that doctor looked like she knows what she's doing here.
That's not the doctor. That's the paper. This is a hemorrhoidal bander.
I don't even want to know what that means. I don't even.
So I want you to just realize, man. when you fix somebody's backside, you know what, Joe? They will send you Christmas cards and Thanksgiving turkeys.
Are you serious?
You have a relation. You have it's just a relationship that just is beyond.
You're turning
comparison.
this from a PG to an X-rated show.
No, but this is one of the best things I've ever done. This is really amazing. I make all kinds of things.
That?
I wish, and it's so simple. You know what this is?
What is it? Plastic.
So you take this little thing and you put the little band on it, and you put this little rubber band, and of course. You stick this.
Okay.
I
kind of got it.
You know what we call a second opinion in medicine, don't you? That's 2 fingers. Sorry.
How about back to
I have a license. I have a license to talk about this stuff. Anyway, you take this little thing in there and you put the little rubber band on there and you just deploy the band, and it's about 15 seconds.
Do you just use that over and over? I guess.
No,
No.
They want you to use it every time. Throw it away. Of course, they make more money that way. But I wish I'd have thought of that. I'd have been vacationing and we'd have been doing this in Tahiti.
That's right. We're on our own island.
But it's just one of those things. It's a simple thing. But let me tell you something. There's parts of your body you don't even know exist until they start bothering you.
Oh well, that's
and let me just say this. But whoever thought of this was brilliant.
But
really.
What field more than medicine are people coming out with these brand new ideas on all this kind of stuff, right?
Well, it's all technology and
How
internet
about a
stuff.
robot I know y'all use these robots sometimes to operate on people.
Yeah, I'm
that
not
blows
smart
my
enough.
that blows
some
my
of that.
mind.
Some of that, Joe, is just marketing. It's just I mean, the robot is great for something. Like, for example, for prostate surgery. In fact, we've had some people. We're going to have somebody on the show. Bruce Davis is going to talk about his experiences with prostate cancer. But robot's great for prostate because it's a small hole. But a lot of it is just
okay. Now we're through.
We're
done with holes. We're done with holes right now.
Okay.
Let's get back to our subject. The whole idea of what we're talking about here today.
What were we talking about, Joe?
How frustrating is it to see a product and think, man,
I wish I'd have thought of that.
I wish I'd have thought of that.
Well, I wish I'd have followed through with it. Yeah.
Well, it's just so many things in the world today that are happening that, one of the reasons, I mean, people make a lot of money on some of these inventions.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then they just make them for a little while and then somebody else buys them or
Right.
whatever like that. I was sitting in church Sunday.
Right.
And I was thinking, when the preacher always says, open your Bible and we're going to talk about this.
Right.
Well, everybody's got their head down because their Bible is sitting on there.
Right.
There ought to be a little stand we make,
You go to one of them old fashioned churches.
Yeah.
Nowadays they put it on the screen, Joe, in the big fancy places.
That's
okay.
That's
anyway,
right.
so
anyway, you need something to hold. But I mean, there are things across America. So what we want to encourage our viewers this week or today is, have you got an idea? Now we're not going to steal your idea and go, what's that firm on television that? They was it George Foreman, whatever that takes your ideas and stuff. We don't want to do that. All we'd like to hear about is, what are some of the ideas you've got?
Think about the guy that invented duct tape.
Oh,
I mean, think about that.
Or Velcro.
Yeah, I mean, goodness gracious.
Or the bird feeder that twirls around when a squirrel gets on it. You ever seen that? Flip that squirrel completely out.
What's that?
That squirrel, he'll get on top of it and go like that and flip him off. And so I just sit there so many times. And
Is that like an amusement park for squirrels? Explain that to me, Joe.
I think as we get older, and maybe the incomes kind of tighten up for a lot of people and stuff, you start thinking, dadgummit, I had some really good ideas
smarter than they are
in my life that I could have come out with.
Right.
So we want people to let us know, what are some of your ideas that you've got that you think people would just say, I can't believe that. And then one of the things is, why do we as a culture have an idea and then don't do anything with it?
Right. Well, we just don't follow through. You just don't think anybody really think it's a big deal. Or sometimes we have family members that squelch it and everything. But I think that's a great idea, Joe. By the way, if you've got an idea of an invention of something that something funny that, we're not going to steal your idea because we're not smart enough to do anything. But send us a video to our contact page and just send it to us, and we might show it on the show, or we might be able to help you.
Yeah, that's right. And we don't want your idea and all like that. One last thing that I saw. Woo, a great invention. How many times have you put your Christmas tree up and you got it all set up, and then all of a sudden it was kind of crooked, right?
That's every year for me.
We got this stand this year that you unflip this thing, and no matter where it is, you just make it straight and then clip it back in with your foot, and it stays there.
What?
Why didn't I think of that? I mean, that would have been
now
brilliant.
Explain this to me. How does it work? You put the Christmas tree down in the hole,
and then it's got these. I have no idea.
These
or I'd
little
have
limbs that come up and you attach it.
No, it's like a circle with a spring, and you just undo the circle and you position the tree, and then you clamp the circle back on it. Our readers are not inside the operating room every day. They know what I'm talking about. They've seen them at Walmart or Lowe's.
I have no idea.
But that is a fantastic invention. But Chuck, I was just thinking, our world is kind of formed on people making inventions. People coming up with stuff.
Well, creativity, resourcefulness, isn't that?
Well, in the next show we're going to do, as we've talked about, is going to be on stuff like, what's the world going to be like in 10 years? If everything keeps developing the way it is right now. I mean, it's going to be crazy as we continue to watch things. The thing that gets me is usually we have inventions that come out of a great need. Right. That's why we find stuff. I guess like what you brought with you today.
I think that's one of the most, from what I do, that's one of the most revolutionary things.
Good for you. Good for you.
The hemorrhoidal bander. I'm telling you, brother. Well, nobody talks about it. You won't hear it on an infomercial, but brother, I'll tell you what.
And what would one of those things?
I could put this up on. I could put this up on a. I could promote this and.
I bet you could even do this with cows and horses and stuff.
Well, that's what they do.
I didn't know that, or I would have said that.
Oh, yeah, but that's a whole different story.
Well, we could certainly brand that, I guess, if our folks want. If you want to buy one of those online, I guess we could sell it to you. But I think you probably have to have somebody on the other end that knows what they're doing.
Applying it is the whole thing. Having somebody that knows when to do it and all that. So
anyway, what we'd like you to do is just think. You are too smart to be sitting there with all these ideas and just keep them inside your head. The people that come up with stuff, I read books about how they came up with like the Apple computer,
right.
And how they came up with this and how they came up with that. Most of the time, and some of these people were truly brilliant people, but most of the time, people just stumble over stuff because they needed it.
That's a 50-cent word. That's what they call serendipity.
Well,
don't ask me to spell that word now, Joe.
I wouldn't. They didn't teach that in medical school.
Hey, Joe, we've got to go. Our time is up, man. We've got a great show here for you today. I hope you like the rest of our folks that we're going to have in our lineup. Once again, you can text LAL to 66866. Dr. Joe Pettigrew, I'm going to give you the last word.
No, just if you got something on your mind, go for it. You're not too old. You're not too young. The world needs inventions. Just think, if all the people invented all the stuff we talked about today had not stepped forward, we'd still have crooked Christmas trees.
I wonder how many of those people, Joe, were over the age of 60.
Well, I don't know.
That's a good question, isn't it?
That's a great question.
I don't know how old Thomas Edison was when he invented the light bulb. I don't think he was a spring chicken.
Well, he probably wasn't. But, you read about people all the time. What was it? Colonel Sanders, 65, when he started Kentucky Fried Chicken and all these other people. And that's because, we live in a world where a lot of times when we get to a certain age, the world turns us off and we have nothing else to offer. And the reality is, once you get to that age, oh my goodness, what you have to offer is what's the old commercial on MasterCard? It's